Hey, welcome back to a new episode of Addicted to Gear. Yep, we're in 2018. As you all know, most of you are back at work, back to the grind. The partying's over, the flu season is over, the hangovers are all gone and behind you. And hopefully you're still sticking to your New Year's resolutions and you're not tapped out like I am from buying gear. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to take a look at some trends that we saw happening in 2017 as we look forward to new things, new exciting stuff from all the manufacturers in 2018. Just to see if we can identify some trends, it's always a good idea to take a look at where you've been to be able to get a better idea of where you're headed. And it would be cool to take a look at what kind of amplifiers were the most popular in 2017. Now, there's no point in trying to look at all of the manufacturers making amplifiers out there because we would never get through it. So I thought it'd be more realistic and make more sense if we take a smaller sampling and limit the discussion here today to the most popular used amplifiers being sold in 2017. And we'll look at the top 10. Used amplifiers, people tend to go with what they know, and you pretty much see, people going back to the standard types of amplifiers that are available. But you might be surprised to learn that there's new stuff coming along, and I think people's taste is starting to change now because there is an influx of a whole bunch of new technology, and I think people are kind of downsizing their rigs and what they're playing in terms of amplifiers at home. So I think you're going to be pretty interested in learning what the top 10 are. Now, if you would ask me today what I think the most popular brands out there would be, I would say, Marshall, Mesa Boogie, Fender, Vox, maybe Friedman, what else? I don't know. Those, I would say those brands off the top of my head, but I could be wrong. So let's look at the list and see what exactly is happening. So starting at number 10, from our top 10 list, the Yamaha THR-10 modeling amp comes in at number 10. That to me is quite a surprise. I wouldn't even have thought about Yamaha in terms of the world of amplifiers, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of any of Yamaha's amps, although I did have one. It was my second amplifier way back in time, but I only bought that amplifier because I couldn't afford a Roland Jazz Chorus at the time that I thought was pretty cool, even though I didn't really understand how much better tube amplifiers sounded in those days. Anyway, so the Yamaha THR-10 modeling amplifier comes in at number 10. At number 9, we have the Marshall DSL-40. So this is a small 40-watt combo amp, 112, and I'm not surprised Marshall's in the top 10. Marshall has been one of the staples of rock and roll since day one. British amplifier, that British sound that everybody knows and loves. So the DSL combo, small combo, less expensive, portable, makes sense. So I'm not surprised that they're in there at number 9. Number 8, Fishman Loudbox Mini. So that's the LBX 500. Now, Fishman is, again, one of those companies where I never actually owned any Fishman amplifier at all, but I know that the Fishman Loudbox is one of these amplifiers that allows you to play, plug in a guitar and maybe a mic at the same time and use it as like an all-in-one solution. I'm surprised that's in the top 10, but see, you never know what you're going to find when you look at these statistics. Number 7 is the Fender 65 Deluxe reissue. That's the Reverb reissue, the 22-watt amplifier. Now, the Fender Deluxe 65 has been out for a long time, obviously since 1965. Now they're reissuing them. It's a fantastic amplifier, one of my favorite Fender amplifiers. And they've been recorded a million times. Everybody's been playing those amplifiers. I mean, at one time or another. If you think of the Fender clean sound, you're probably thinking about the 65. Great amplifier. So coming in at number 7, yeah, makes sense. I think that's par for the course. So at number 6, this is what's surprising. At number 6, you have the Fender Champion 600, which beat out the Deluxe Reverb. Now, the Champion 600, I haven't had the privilege of playing. I know what it looks like, I know what it does, and I would have never thought that that would have been more popular than the 65. So I'm surprised once again. At number 5, we have the Vox AC15, and that's the lower wattage version of the AC30. The AC30, you probably know, is a very world-renowned amplifier. Everybody's, you know, the Beatles played Vox, Queen plays Vox, everybody plays Vox. You know, the Edge, when you think of that nice chimey, clean sound, that's Vox. And the AC15, since it's being the lower wattage version, it's more manageable at home, and it makes sense that people would still want that Vox sound at a lower wattage. So that's at a solid number 5. Number 4, we're looking at the Orange Micro Dark Terror. This is a 20-watt little lunchbox size amplifier, and it's small, it sounds mean, it's affordable, it's easy to move, so it's pretty popular. I mean, Orange makes some great amplifiers. They have a very specific sound to them, saturated, heavy, you know, that kind of thing. And I guess since the smaller lunchbox size amplifiers are more affordable, they'd be more popular. Why not? I mean, people pick them up. They're affordable. So the Micro Dark Terror is at number 4. Then Orange comes in again at number 3 with the Orange MT20 Micro Terror. So it's kind of the same form factor, same amplifier, except one is darker sounding than the other. So, you know, 2 amps back to back in the top 10. That's pretty good for Orange. Number 2, we're looking at yet another Fender amplifier. It's the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. Now, the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe is also what I consider a working man's amplifier. It's kind of like reliable. It's not the best sounding amplifier. It's not the worst sounding amplifier, but it's reliable, it's affordable, and a lot of people like it. You know, it's a good pedal platform. It's not too heavy. It's loud enough. So I'm not surprised that that's at number 2. I actually owned one that I liked a lot. I ended up selling it, but you know, I'd consider getting another one if the timing was right and I got a good price on it. So I'm not surprised that's at number 2. At number 1, another Fender amplifier. So we can see that out of 10 amplifiers on the used market, we have the Fender 65, the Fender Champion, the Fender Hot Rod, and number 1, can you guess what it is? It's another Fender. Fender Twin? No. It's a Fender Blues Junior. Now, what can I say? I know about Blues Juniors. I have a Blues Junior. I actually modified mine. Number 1, you know, what can I say? Blues Juniors, it's a great all-around amplifier. It's, you know, okay, I'm not going to say it's cheap because it is a little expensive nowadays, but it's small, it's spunky, it's one channel, it's clean, it's got a decent reverb. It's a great modding platform. I could vouch for that. So being number 1. Now, would I have guessed the Blues Junior would be number 1? No, no way. I don't even know if I would have thought that a Fender amplifier would be number 1. But, you know, there you have it, guys. It's like you're surprised to see what's going on. So from the top 10, I can see a couple of trends. I can see low wattage, I can see combos, and I can see easy to transport, so they're small. And I'd say the price range would be below $1,000. So those are the trends I'm seeing in the top 10 for 2017. Pretty cool. Let me know if you agree with these top 10 results. If you think that you know, there's some amplifiers that are missing in that top 10 that would make that should actually be there. I'm surprised that, you know, companies like Mesa Boogie haven't cracked the top 10. Companies like Friedman didn't crack the top 10. I'm even surprised that there's only one Marshall amplifier and it's a DSL combo and nothing else. Like there's no, JCM 800 or Plexi or JTM 45s or anything like that. But it just reinforces the idea that people are getting away from the bigger, more powerful amplifiers. I think overall people don't need that anymore. They're getting away from that. They just want to have something that they can play at home. Now with the advent of software, you can play, you can model your amplifiers through your iPad even totally in software. So people are not really willing to spend a lot of money, above $1,000, to get something that they just play at home, unless you're crazy like me, but that's a whole different story. The people that are addicted to gear like me will understand, but overall I think the general public seems to be moving towards lower gain, not lower gain, but sorry, lower wattage amplifiers, more affordable all-in-one solutions that have maybe built-in effects or different sounds that they can play without necessarily having to invest in pedals even. So it's a very telling, top 10, I think. I think it's quite eye-opening. And I think overall the turnover when it comes to amplifiers in terms of what products are coming out are a little bit slower than other items such as guitars or pedals and that kind of stuff. Companies tend to sit on their amp line a little longer. Obviously it takes a lot more time to develop a new amplifier, a lot more R&Ds involved, and they want to make the money. And if something's selling well, they'll just keep on selling it. They won't necessarily reintroduce a brand new amplifier every year if they don't have to. So that's it for the top 10 for 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this kind of information. I kind of like to look at these stats, and I hope you do too. Find it entertaining. If you like it and you want me to keep on presenting stuff like this, give me some thumbs up. If you're bored and you don't like what I'm talking about here, just give me a thumbs down. I understand. No hard feelings. In the meantime, if there's anything else you want me to talk about instead, maybe you have some suggestions as to what I should look at on my show, give me your suggestions. I'll always take them into consideration, and you never know, you might be surprised. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me again on Addicted to Gear. And if you haven't already subscribed, shame on you, and do yourself a favor, hit subscribe right now before you forget. Or else you're going to be missing all this stuff. How are you going to tell your friends what the #1 selling amplifier on Reverb was? The Blues Junior. Come on, you need to know that information. So stay tuned, guys, and keep rocking. There'll be more great stuff coming your way.